love how, like you explained, you know, you got credentials coming out of every place. Right, credentialed down, but the conversation was like good girlfriends cutting up.
Yes, yeah. You know, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, I just want to have a conversation. Let's just catch up, chit chat. Here's what we're going to talk about. But because I really want, you know, like the listeners to, and this is what some of the people say, because I also bring in my sister friends. I got different circles of sister friends, right? And that's what some of them said. They're like, it sounds like I'm part of your conversation, you know, like they're listening to it and you're just part of the conversation. Like you were with me and my friends talking, you know.
Answering y'all in the car, sitting in the car, listening, like, girl, yes. And it's like, oh, they can't hear me.
Because this didn't go as planned. But who cares? Because who cares? This is God's
here. Because we here. Because we here.
Yeah, y'all know I got options. But you know what? I will continue to write how the show will run.
I love it.
Go that way, but it'll help me.
Listen, I was here for it. I was like, look at us being fancy.
Now y'all know I got boo? Now I got
good. You see, I have regular lashes on.
Who are you? And how did you get here?
They're not, because I don't think I'm going to do my individuals for a while. Thank you.
Listen.
Thank you. Either or.
Listen.
So how you feel. Or you want to keep that. It's up to you. It's up to you. Make a statement. Make that statement.
You know, every day is a wonderful day to be alive. So, you know, why don't we be extra for no reason? Because
wait. What do you mean?
Oh no, now mine are kind of like yours. Maybe should I wear the other one?
Either or, it doesn't matter. It's up to you.
I love those.
We're trying to get volume.
We'll mix it up.
Oh, I didn't put my thing on. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you, but it's a little lower.
Yeah, I forgot. I haven't done this in a while.
You giving us whisper song goodness. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in here.
And today,
I can be my jam.
Yeah. We want everyone to enjoy.
I never touch it to see if it's soft.
That was my drip. And that's what they're really saying. I was like,
girl, I was just talking to somebody the other day about this, that when you finally heard like the regular, the album version and not the radio edit, it was like, wait till you see my,
Ooh. Better? Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's it.
This is it? Okay, so this does work.
Girl.
Welcome to the Tarot.
Welcome to the Kaz and Fab Show, people.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We had a whole intro to go in, but it doesn't matter because we're here, and we're just gonna go kind of like right in it because
we're here.
Because we
are here.
So we have friends of the show with
Amen.
us. Yes. She was on one of our Christmas Vlogmas, and she gave us some nice headstand about people and drinks and what she's doing with herself, of course.
Yeah, that string queen's recommendation.
Yes. Oh my God, that was the best recommendation,
girl.
Was that not good holiday music? Like music period?
I was making that cake because we had other Vlogsmas, Jess Miller, and with her cookbook, and I was making my cakes and listening to String Queens and cooking up some stuff and some oxtail, and I had some sorrel, and I was like, oh. But yes, this is who we have here today.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Mimi. Improper Mimi.
Yeah, you go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Mimi Jax, the host of Improper Mimi. I'm here with my lovely ladies. So glad to join you ladies today. Yeah. And, we're going to be rocking out.
Yes. We, Kaz, it's been an emotional week. We all know that. But we talk about this periodically, how we started this wonderful show. We're on this journey together. And it was really supposed to be a mock interview show for my reel that I'm making, because I'm an actress, so, you know, whatever. And Kaz was like, let's do it for real.
Yeah, what we gonna go through all the trouble of making a fake show? Like,
I'm like, but what do you mean for real? She said, for real. And I'm like, okay. And we in it, and we in it together, you know?
Yes.
And it's a wonderful thing. And the whole thing with getting a seat at the table, creating our own table.
Right.
You ain't gotta wait.
You just have to make your own seat. You know?
But listen,
your own seat.
I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about you fool around to get a seat at somebody else's table, then somebody else gets to determine how long you can sit there, whether or not you can get up. You fool around and get up and go to the bathroom, and somebody's gonna be sitting in your seat.
It's always a temporary situation.
Yeah.
Not guaranteed.
And listen, you have your own table. You can take it wherever you want.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Following your lead, Miss Improper Mimi.
Yes, because that's what this is about. We followed you. I remember having a conversation. Let's go back to that conversation. I used to work with Miss Mimi Jacks.
Yeah.
And she had, I remember we were talking about it. I forgot where we were going, because I think we were outside.
Were we going?
We were going
in a car or something. It was cold, and we were talking about making sure our hoo-has didn't catch a cold.
Yes, the hoo-has. It might have been a Christmas party.
Yes.
Because I had a short little something. You had, Missy don't like where, she has gorgeous legs. I big up my girl Mimi Jacks and my girl Cass. Beautiful freaking legs. I wasn't blessed with, I'm tall, so I got the length, but I wasn't blessed with the shape of a beautiful leg. So these two, be wearing heels like whatever, no pantyhose, no hair on them, saying got it shaved like I do. And then, so in the winter, she was just like, we're going to a Christmas party, but
I'm like, I'm too cute to boot. I'm not wearing stockings. I got my toes out and my open toe shoes, and my dress is above my knees, so you know it's kind of short. And I'm like,
and you know she's giving you realness. New York City in the winter.
New York City in the winter going to a Christmas party. It was the best thing. And you started talking about what you wanted to do.
Yes. Yeah. And it was, and you know what? I think that holiday party was probably right before I had went back home to Ohio for like a family wedding. And that sealed the deal. I was like, I've been talking about this. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it because and I started that next February. So February 2020, I just started season 1, Improper Mimi. You know, I was inspired by just highlighting women of color doing wonderful things. And also because people kept asking me questions and I'm giving them advice. And I'm like, yo, why don't I just tell everybody the advice?
Listen, I won't have to repeat it 12 times.
Exactly, yes. And so I didn't know what I was doing. I, Googled a few things, but I said, let's just start. Just do it. Just start. Just do it.
Fantastic. And I love the diversity of you got all ranges of people, like from every pocket of who we are. There's representation, and it's like, hey, let's talk about this. And it gives you space to talk about so much more because you're open to being like, I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I consider I'm like a professional networker. If I could get paid to just network, I just want to meet people, connect people, and connecting people too.
That could be another one. That could be on your resume too. That could be another one that you could do and get paid for.
Exactly. This is a skill I got. Be like, oh, I know somebody. Oh, yeah.
Different individuals with corporate, with different industries. Because she is wherever you go with her.
It's strategic.
So how did you choose who you wanted to talk to?
Oh, so for the podcast, how I kind of chose people, I came up with like a list of topics that I wanted to do. Then I'm like, who do I know? Like, okay, Representative like Ayanna Pressley was out and, she alopecia, she like shaved off all her hair, lost all her hair and everything. So I'm like, I know someone who's a dermatologist. I'm like, let's talk about this because Black women, their skin. And I never really thought about losing your hair, like your scalp is skin. So yeah, you need to go to a dermatologist, not just your your stylist is going to know and see that you're having problems, but you want to nip it in the bud and go to a dermatologist. So Dr. Yolanda Lindsay, I called her up and I was like, hey, let's do a show. She's like, okay, good. And then some of the women that I bike with, Dr. Eugenia Griffith, she's a professor. She has written books. So she knows all about mentoring.
I love hearing the doctors and the
yes, right. I'm like, little old me, right? Like little old me, I ain't got all those degrees, but I know people who know things. So I was like, let's bring her in. We talked about mentoring, about writing books. Another woman, we had met back when our children were in daycare together. Our kids are like over 25 now. So we've known each other for a long time. But I just reconnected with some people. I was like, I see what you're doing and I love what you're doing, and let's share it with other people. So we started talking about writing and poetry, and that's Yolanda Jackson. And we got an episode about how writing can like help free your emotions and help to like, just bring you some peace of mind, because we know we needed it in 2020. We needed, ways to connect with ourselves and our feelings. So
that timing was perfect. And also, I also love how, like you explained, you got credentials coming out of every place. When everybody, credentialed down, but the conversation was like good girlfriends cutting up.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I tell them. I'm like, I just want to have a conversation. Let's just catch up, chit chat. Here's what we're going to talk about. But because I really want, like the listeners to, and this is what some of the people say, because I also bring in my sister friends. I got different circles of sister friends, right? And that's what some of them said. They're like, it sounds like I'm part of your conversation, like you're listening to it and you're just part of the conversation. Like you were with me and my friends talking,
answering y'all in the car, sitting in the car, listening, like, girl, yes. And it's like, oh, they can't hear me.
But has it been something said on the podcast that you kind of wanted to ever take back? Like something said that you're like, oh, shouldn't?
Did she say she's improper? You know good.
I know she's improper, but still, did you know? Still, sometimes it's a.
Well, girl, that's what editing's for.
I was about to say she's editing it.
Stuff. I mean, I don't think that I've published anything that I've wanted to take back. But if there was something that was like too much, then I just edit it out. That's easy,
Okay. Yeah, editing is good.
Yeah. But and it's funny because sometimes, it might be something you say about family or something like, oh, should I?
And I think that's my main thing is the family.
Yeah.
I think that's so far with doing this show. I've had calls from my mom. I've said.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I see that you mentioned that. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, y'all talk a lot on there, huh? Let us talk.
I'm like, thanks for listening. Thanks. I know. And then one time I had a sex therapist on, right?
Yes.
So, I remember that.
Yes. I was like, because my dad listens to all of them. And he, he's usually the one that listens. And then my mom responds, be like, oh yeah, your dad said that was good. So, but when he responds, I'm like, oh, so he really did like it. So for that one, I was like, oh, let me give mom a heads up. Be like, you might not want to hear this one.
You're like, hold up.
Like, I don't know if dad wants to listen to the sex therapy conversation.
Not with you. Like
he didn't. Okay.
I don't know. He might have. Dad, let me know. Did you listen to that one? Because there's nothing wrong with it. It was just, things we probably haven't spoke about together.
Yeah, it was really informative too. It was really informative. It really wasn't anything, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? And it's like, ooh, a little challenge. Let me try that next time.
It wasn't bad.
It was like
informative. That's what we want. We want some informative.
Very informative.
Yeah.
Are there any types of a mantra that you say to yourself, something that guides you on your decisions, even in your everyday life or for your show, like certain type of mantras? Do you have anything like that, or do you?
Not necessarily like a mantra, but one thing that I pretty much try to go by or live by is just like, every day is a new day. I'm just grateful and thankful for each day. So, people see me like always happy, always, bubbly. And I'm like, I ain't bubbly every day, but I do feel that you have that power to affect your mood like throughout the day. So when I come in contact with those difficult people, I try to remember, be like, you know what, Mimi, that person, something's wrong, with their little aura today, like it's not personal. They're not coming at me personally.
They try to project it onto you. They try to project it onto you.
Exactly. So I always try to remember, be like, ooh, let me pray for you. Like there's some reason why you're coming after me, but it has nothing to do with me.
And I'm not going to let it have anything to do with me. If that was your intention of it having anything to do with me, I hate it for you.
And in case you forgot, let me reinstate, this is why I know what I'm doing and why I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing and doing it with a smile.
You're like,
something else.
Actually, no.
I used to tell people that when they were like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I tell people no. Yeah. So like, professionally.
Boundaries. That's good with having boundaries. We always go back to the boundary thing.
Yes. Yeah. And as Black women with so much on our shoulders, taking care of family, taking care of work, taking care of, just people around us during this pandemic and our own health. And we need to set those boundaries. There was another topic on boundaries. We talked about.
So here's a question about, since season 1 is over and you're shifting in season 2, is there anything that you're doing differently this time around? Because I know we were talking about, you were like, oh, am I going to revamp my intro?
Right.
Like, what am I, like, did you set goals for, I know you set goals for Mimi Jax, but did you set goals for Improper Mimi?
Yes. Yeah. Bye-bye.
That means, I was about to say, usually that means she got on something short and she's going to get something. That's usually my cue.
I'm just
readjust it.
Look.
You get on stockings. What do you get on stockings for in the house? Like,
because I'm gonna go out later. I have to. And I was like, let me put, because I was gonna have nothing on underneath this.
I barely wear pants anymore. Come on.
I put these on and I just put them on and they're comfy.
That's why I said, no, anytime her camera goes dark, it's because what she got on is too short and she's about to,
I love it. Oh my God. I put on some jeans today and I was like, these are like kind of confining, compared to my leggings and my sweatpants and my shorts I'll be wearing.
Oh my God.
Or just my drawers.
I haven't put any jeans. I might try to put a pair. I don't know if I even want a pair.
Picked up jeans like 3 times and put them back down like, no.
Leggings.
Oh my gosh.
I have this nice jumpsuit thing that's just comfy. And I'm like, this is my everyday wear. If I have to go out.
Yeah.
Jumpsuit,
put a cute little jacket on, switch it up.
Jacket, my Uggs, and I'm good.
Great. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Listen.
Alrighty. So you were asking about the plans or goals for Improper Mimi. Well, for season 1 was really getting into, okay, what is this podcast thing? Like, how do you do it? Getting people involved, getting the following. So I think for season 2, we'll continue with different topics that are engaging in current events and things that, people want to hear. I think one thing that's going to be new is season 1 was deliberately all women. All of my guests were women. I mean, it's a show about women for women. And I think this season, we might have a few guests on that are men, kind of bring a different perspective. Because I do have like maybe 25% of the listeners are men, so.
They're trying to figure out what's going on with us.
Yeah, right. I'm like, it reminds me of Being Mary Jane, right? When I be watching that, I'm like, why is she telling us secrets? She's showing all the crazy Black thoughts that Black women be having in our mind. I'm like, why is she telling everybody our secrets? But yeah, guys be tuning in too. And the only ones who ask me when you're gonna have a guy on has been a guy.
Women, we don't.
Yeah, we don't mind. We be like,
we don't keep talking to each other.
And it's good to have a male perspective. It is.
Yeah.
Depending on No, it is. It's a good thing. We've done it a few times. And we're doing it more in our episodes to come. We're gonna have some guys on. So it's good to hear that. It's good to hear that.
Yeah.
And again, I am so proud of you that you did it.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing it. And
Yes.
I remember the conversation we had with our little teeny skirts in the cold. Keep warm our hoo-has. And you saying, you know, you got equipment, you didn't know what you were going to give, but I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And just, it's a proud feeling.
Oh, yeah.
When you're on your own without somebody else saying, oh, is it casting for a podcast? Do you want to work for me? And because people go that way too.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody else just to get the experience.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it for yourself. And for any of our viewers out there, brunch breakers, I know you could be fearful. You could be fearful to step out and to say, oh, I want to. But if you have a dream, if you have an idea, try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you learn anything from 2020, you learned that, you know, whatever it is you have a desire or to want to do, like nothing is stopping you from doing it. You should go ahead and do it. However, like, you know, if you feel like you can't do it to the scale that you want to, do it small. Yeah. And watch it grow, because you'll keep learning it. Like as it grows, you'll get better. Because I'm sure when you started editing your podcast, it was like calculus. And
right? I'm like, how do I like cut this out or get this in there? And even setting up the microphones, because when I first started, I was doing them in person, you know? So, right. So then I would have like one microphone for me, or I would let my guest use the microphone and I would just use the mic from the laptop, and you could hear the difference. They're like, we want to hear you. You're the host. You should have the microphone. I'm like, so do I need more than one microphone? Like, but then we went into Zoom, and so everyone's got a microphone or they've got their laptop. So there's, you know, the sound quality is different, you know, going through that. And it was all a learning process, you know. Because you're like producing it, you're editing it, you're setting up the calendar. And I love Kalindi, by the way, and it's owned, you know, created by a Black woman as well. So
I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they help with the scheduling of things. But like, here's my schedule when I'm available. You let me know when is good for you. And that helps with scheduling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, Fab. Sorry.
I know. Which name? I have so many. What was that?
Yeah, because it never crossed my mind, because I see a lot of people use it like when there's like if you're booking class or you're booking different things. It never crossed my mind to just use it to coordinate schedules. Like,
how do you spell it again? How do you spell it?
Yeah, it's Caldly. Yeah. So it's Calendly. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get to that, because we've been trying to schedule, when we schedule for, you know, our talks, it's been
exactly.
My ministry, not my ministry.
Right? As much as you can automate.
But that might help a little bit better.
Exactly. Yeah. The more you can automate and streamline it, and it takes things off of your plate. Because I mean, I'm still working full time during the day. So, you know. So it's kind of like, these are the windows of time I'm available, and then they could pick and choose. And I'm like, thank you.
No, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And also because it allows us to coordinate with each other. Like you just
opened up.
I'm telling you,
I
love it.
You gave us string queens. You gave us gosh, I'm gonna say the name wrong. The Puerto Rican rum. What is it called?
Oh, the colamono. Colamono.
Coquito.
Yeah, coquito.
So, yeah.
I was so upset.
I have that book.
Have you guys read this?
No.
I have it in the Kindle.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I don't know why I couldn't remember why I bought it. So I feel like this was a Mimi situation when you talk about the books.
Yes.
Posted something and I was like, oh, okay, let me
Yeah, it's called the Memo, because I knew today we were talking about making our seats at the table, coming to the table. That was written by Minda Harts, and it's kind of like the Black woman's here's the real deal, getting a seat at the table book. You know, like she shares her experience. She talks about the things she went through, and it's things that a lot of us have gone through, you know, like in the corporate world. And you were not alone, you know, like how people see us, how they talk to us, how we react. You know, it's kind of all in that book. And that's the first thing I thought of when we were talking about making our seat at the table.
Making our seats, yeah.
And you talk about, like, you know, in the last few weeks, the historic things that have happened. Like, I cried buckets, and I did not expect to be so emotional when during the swearing in, during the inauguration. And it was such a weird thing. I was just overcome because I was like, wow, like, this is one of those moments where you realize that every time you show up and do the work and decide that I belong here, it makes space for someone else. Because if there's no Shirley Chisholm, you know, there's so many people who are walking through doors, who are kicking down doors,
right?
So that you could stand and put your hand on and be like,
and she's like, let me tell you how to say my name for real.
Yes, say my name correctly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But it was beautiful. And it's exciting also because, you know, my daughter is just at the age where she has an understanding of what's happening with things. And so she asks questions and things like that. So it's a beautiful thing that, like, she's just young enough that she will never remember that orange was not the new black.
Good Lord.
Sorry, that was not very nice, but so true. And like, so she'll be able to see that measure of representation.
Yeah.
And so it's just an awesome thing because so many, like Cori Bush, given whenever they were like her first speech on the floor, I was like, this is an everyday woman that was like, enough is enough.
Right.
And so that it opens doors for us to, because, you know, we fight and fight and fight to get that representation. And part of the fight has empowered people to show up and to walk through doors and say, oh, okay, you don't want to hear me, you don't want to appreciate me, you don't want to respect me and honor me, I'm gonna run against you. Because, you know, there are people who live in districts that for 30 years the same person has been in charge, and they've had the same problems for 30 years. And so, like, it's not even just about, like, in building a table, like, you make space.
Yeah. And then it's not just enough. And I love that one of Kamala's, I hope I said her name right. Kamala's.
Look, you see how I skipped over it. I was like, I'm not about to blame myself because depending on the day, I say it incorrectly too.
Right. Blame it on the mind, not the heart, right? But I love how one of the things that sticks out about Kamala, our Madam Vice President, is that her saying or being quoted a lot for saying, being the first but not the last. So I made it to the table, but I'm going to make sure that I leave a path and I, you know, help other people to also get to the table. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You fool around and bend down and there's a Converse and a Pearl sitting holding the door open. You know she was here.
I'm like, oh, look at this. Somebody left me some Converse. Let me walk on through this door.
Yes. But we are so proud of you. And we are just so grateful to share the space. And
girl, thank you for sharing your space. Look at y'all. You know, this was just a practice round of training, and y'all got a whole show going on. So kudos to you both. Yeah.
But what I do ask all of our brunch breakers, what do you think your superpower is?
Dun, 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 dun.
Look, I see your picture behind you.
In the back.
Okay, right. So, you know, just, you know.
I love that. Come through. Enough.
Yes. So we got a little bit of
that is gorgeous.
Some new artwork in my house. So I need to start going shopping. But that is wonderful. So,
I saw you post that and I was like, okay, my heart did literally stop for a hot second because I love it with every ounce of who I am.
Yeah, right.
So your superpower, Miss Mimi Jax.
Yes. So my superpower is, you know, bringing love and peace to the world. No, I don't know.
Listen, one podcast at a time.
Yes, right. It's bringing that positivity, you know, and encouraging people. Like when we talk about networking, like I am a professional networker. Like I can see someone in the corner of the room and be like, oh, they're all alone. Let me go say hi to them or something like that. Or, you know, like, oh, she's really smart, but she never talks. I'm like, why don't you have something to say? Why don't you say something, So I think just, bringing that light,
you see people and you share. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
So maybe I'm a prism and I see other people's lights and then I shoot it back out at the world for more people to see.
Listen, you halfway joking, but that's some real,
I'm gonna write that down. My superpower is I'm a prism.
That's a real superpower.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful because sometimes people don't encounter light being shined on them.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so you out here bright and live and direct.
Bright like a diamond.
Yeah. Oh wow. That is crazy because we're getting a new logo. And isn't that amazing? And
you heard it here, folks. First, right here with Mimi Jax.
So that was confirmation for us.
Yeah.
In the logo design process
because we're going back and forth with the artists to try to see what's right.
Yeah.
And this was
we needed that. So thank you for that.
I love you, ladies.
We love you. Yes, you came through, gave us earring goodness.
Yes,
you gave us laughter and love. Y'all missed the pre-show. She was in here.
I missed that too. Awesome. Gonna do some burlesque to peel off.
So you had a peel.
We had an episode on that too.
Slow. Yes. The tease.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. All in hand too. We got some hand. I'll get you some hand stuff too. But anyway.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I want you ladies to be on the podcast too. So we're going to.
You already know. Consider it done.
We're going to schedule it with Kalindi.
Yes.
I tell you are a gift woman because
I didn't know about that. I'm glad.
I never crossed my mind to do it that way. Like I said, you always bring us such goodness. And
the gems that we get. I love the gems.
I love to learn something.
Yes,
I love
when is season 2? Do you have a date?
When does it?
Yes, we're gonna kick it off in February. So February 3rd, Improper Mimi Monday, and it's a bi-weekly podcast. So every other Monday you'll be seeing new episodes come out. Y'all could follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Improper Mimi.
And it's just M, the letter M, proper, MIMI.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's right.
And now if you can't spell proper, it'll be down
there. Yeah, it will be.
Yes.
Well, thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, Brunch Breakers. Thanks for cutting up with us.
Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everyone.
Yeah.
You too.
We didn't even talk libations. We'll talk offline about libations.
Yes, I just had my coffee today with a little something.
A little.
Okay.